afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Happy midnight even. I'm your host, Brandon Bailey, with another edition of the Bay Area, and I'm really excited about this guest. Very near and dear and special to me, my brother from another mother.
That's right.
And we out here in this ministry of higher education together. Dr. Daquarius Mahone.
What's up, Bill?
Yes, sir. Man, I can't call it nothing going on but rent. I have to go. Thank you for your time, man. We gonna get into all the hats that you wear, that you worn throughout your illustrious history at the university.
Yes.
And I'm happy to be able to highlight you, and truly one of our shining lights here in our Cardinal community, our Cardinal family. And can't nobody say nothing bad about him. If you do something, something wrong with you.
It's you. I mean,
It most likely it is, real talk. So how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Doing well.
Yeah,
Trying to adjust to the weather shift, but I'm doing well.
it is the fall, homecoming season.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we out adjusting. So let's go to the beginning. Brother, tell us, how did you land at U of L, all the schools you could have possibly gone to, and what's your most cherished memory of undergrad?
So, I'm from the greatest small town in the state of Kentucky.
Okay,
That is the Hopkinsville, Kentucky.
okay,
Kind of going back to high school, there was an opportunity for us to look at some scholarships from different universities, and I was also part of Upward Bound. And part of being in Upward Bound is we took college tours to some of the colleges within the state of Kentucky. And so, came to U of L, it felt at home, it didn't feel too big, yet it didn't feel too small. And so I found out about, at the time, the Woodford Porter Scholarship.
yeah,
So I had a couple different colleges that I was interested in going to. So Louisville, Morehouse, Tuskegee. And so I really just went with the school that really spoke to me the most and kind of was close to home. And so I would say probably the best memory that I have of undergrad would be graduation week.
man.
Because I had an amazing time in undergrad. So a lot of my experiences were good experiences, but I just remember graduation week, like that was just something special, having family come in and being able to celebrate it, thinking about all the late nights and all the study sessions and all the times in Club Extra. I don't know if they still call it Club Extra, but
Club Extra.
yeah, a library.
That's funny.
Yeah, it never closed. Never closed.
That's
So
funny. So, going through Club Extra, what were you studying in undergrad?
so in undergrad, I was a communication major. So I got my Bachelor of Science in Communication.
Yeah.
Started a minor in sociology, but it was later in the semester. I just didn't really know. Later in my career, actually, I didn't really realize that a lot of courses cross-list. So it would have been easy to major in something because I had already taken the course or the prereq for that degree and program. So I was a communication major, worked in the Department of Communication as a student worker. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Some of my best experiences, some of the best supervision that I had at the University of Louisville. So it was very good that my first experience with the supervisor was that it was an amazing one. My supervisor, shout out to Lauren May and Kanika Cheatham. And so they became family. So they really nurtured me. They showed me the ropes as it relates to communication. I always tell students when I meet students now that are communication majors, if they say I'm majoring in communications, I'll be like, no, you're not. You're majoring in communication. And the funny story behind that is that my first day on the job, I was like, I worked at the DMV back home. Like, I got this. I can answer a phone. How easy is that? Phone rings. I say, thank you for calling the Department of Communications. Can I help you? So hang up the phone. And Lauren May's like, so let me let you in on this. It's the Department of Communication. There's no S on it.
No
The
S.
degree is communication. So all of those are speaking to the experiences that I had here at the university.
Beautiful, man. We're gonna come back to the communication piece
Okay.
in a few minutes, but I want to jump forward a little bit. So recently, U of L alum for the third time,
Sir.
right? This past May, and got that PhD terminal degree. What is it in?
So it's in counseling and psychology with a focus in college student personnel
Yeah,
out of the College of Education and Human Development.
yeah, yes, sir. obviously using your degree, what makes you jump out of bed each morning to work with college students?
Being able to support students, being able to see students succeed, being able to be, in a sense, like a sounding board to students. For some students, they may need you to give advice. For some students, they may need you to really just be a listening in. Because I've gone through my own journey with the University of Louisville, I understand the power of developing, finding your voice, matriculating through your own journey. And so being able to see students through that, no matter whatever the phase is the thing that gets me out of bed. Is how can I give back to a university that's given to me in a meaningful way? Yeah, it's a meaningful experience for me, being able to connect with people.
And you're connecting with people a little bit younger these days. What's your latest title that you're embodying now at university?
So I am the director for college readiness and student success
Yeah.
here at the university.
Okay. Having to deal with pipeline programming, things of that nature, ushering students into U of L. This program called Cardinals Rising that's pretty new. Tell us about it.
So Cardinals Rising is a pathways program here at the University of Louisville. We're working with students beginning in the 8th grade. And in essence, it's our direct recruitment tool to get students to our university. Ultimately, what we want to do and what we aspire to do is to create a college-going culture for our students, because the reality of it is that some students have no idea about college. Me being a first-gen student, I had no idea about college, the ins and the outs of college, some of the things that people think is simple, such as financial aid, Greek life. I had no understanding the different majors and minors and how you can make those two things work together. I always tell students you can get two for the price of one if you play the game right. Yeah. And so being able to work with those students, help them to demystify some of college. Before I came to college, if you said anything related to STEM or anything related to engineering, there was a certain level of doubt that I wouldn't be able to compete or that I didn't have an understanding about it. And so it really just helps us to introduce the university and all that we have to offer to those students in a meaningful way, exposing them to our university, offering dual credit opportunities in schools that may not have it. And again, we're working with a lot of schools within Louisville, public and private. We're also going throughout the state. So we're starting in Hopkinsville, Kentucky as well.
Okay. Best small town in Kentucky.
That's small town in Kentucky.
Good. Still a place to start. Going back to other hats you've worn over your professional tenure at U of L, professional history at U of L. You served as the advisor for a few different recognized student organizations, such as the University Global NAACP Student Chapter. I say it right? And SOS. So how did SOS begin, and what exactly is it?
So SOS is what's recognized here at the university as a faith-based RSO. I started it 10 years ago. So it's amazing that it's hit 10 years back in 2015. And so SOS stands for Saving Our Students Campus Ministry. And so what we do, the goal, the whole reason why we're here is to help the educational success, the spiritual success, and even tying it back into some of the research that I've been working on as it relates to my dissertation. There's forms of capital that Tari also talks about. And one of those forms of capital related to a certain demographic of students is spiritual capital. And so that really resonated with me, because spiritual capital is the thing that helps get students. Sometimes that's the thing that they lean into. And there's well-being theories that talked about spirituality. And so for me, Saving Our Students is, in essence, an organization. It's a recognized student organization on this campus that's built to speak to the spiritual side of students and see their spiritual development and spiritual growth while they're getting their academics. Yeah.
Tying into academics, first off, congratulations on 10 years.
Thank you.
With SOS. That's major. It's a lot of things don't make it to.
So I've gone from president to becoming advisor, and that's been a cool experience to know that something that me and a few other people started on this campus is still here beyond us being students at the university.
Yeah. That's legacy.
Yeah.
That's real deal legacy.
Yeah.
Tying into academic legacy for students, you've taught public speaking for a little while now. taught Gen 101 this year, which is essentially a freshman seminar type of course for those who aren't familiar. What exactly is it that you hope that students will cherish from having time in your classrooms?
Overall, ultimately finding your voice and utilizing your voice. I tell students all the time in the public speaking course that I'm not looking for TED Talk speakers, unless you desire to be.
Yeah.
But I'm looking for you and would hope that you would gain on how to find your voice and utilize your voice, because I think that we all have power in our voice. Our tone may be different. Somebody may talk louder than you. You may speak at what may be a whisper, but there's power behind your voice, and that you utilize your voice because your voice produces words, and words carry meaning. It carries power. And so that you ultimately do that with, that they're confident about who they are and what they contribute to this world.
Going back to what you mentioned about contributions to this world, you've made the contribution of a dissertation, very good ones. What is at the heart of your research, would you say?
At the heart of the research would be well-being and community cultural wealth is at the heart of the research. While some folks may not have necessarily money, there is a different form of wealth. I call it intangible wealth.
Yeah.
That students bring to the university, that students bring to their lives, that we as people bring to our lives and contribute to this world every day. Losing my mom in 2021 is kind of how I found this theory. It talks about these forms of capital that students, when they're dealing with adversity or even dealing with navigating a college campus, they bring these forms of capital. That's essentially wealth to their experience that really helps them to matriculate and to get to degree completion. And so for me, I pulled on aspirational capital. I pulled on spiritual capital. I pulled on navigational capital, and I found all of those to be beneficial to me. And what happened is I said, I wonder how many people are pulling from these forms of capital, and we don't realize how there was an investment made in us and how we're turning over that investment as we're going through school. And so that's the contribution to the world, is that exposing folks to the capital that people have at the University of Louisville.
And for all of those scholars out there, or amateur-ish or professional researchers, what's the name of your dissertation?
It is a narrative inquiry into students who've lost somebody during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Yeah. And you chose that time period because of personal loss?
Personal.
Yeah.
When I interviewed folks to speak to the work and talk about their experiences, they didn't have to lose a loved one to COVID-19. It was just the loss of a loved one during the COVID-19 era.
Right.
So it could have been, a heart attack. It could have been anything. It didn't have to be directly tied to COVID-19 for me. And how I position myself within the work, I actually lost my mother to COVID-19.
Right. Yeah. It was a sad, hard time for a lot of reasons for a lot of people. So work is going to be viewed over and over and over again for many years to come. I believe it's not going to be the last pandemic.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's a very great and forever timely or evergreen contribution to the work. I got to say,
appreciate it, y'all. Appreciate it.
Coming back a little bit to this big overarching view of your career time at U of L, who would you say are some key, monumental, influential figures in your student or professional life since you've been here?
I've had quite a few. I feel like a lot of folks have had moments or even words of wisdom that have contributed to even getting to this stage. And I hate to name people because there's so many people, right? There's so many people that whether it was just, you're going to be fine, or it could have been, no, you should think about doing it this way. All of those things, from professors to supervisors, all of those things have contributed to me getting to this point at this particular time. And so one of the folks that I would say probably my start, I would say I had an excellent supervisor in Kanika Cheatham. Was amazing. One of the professors that I had, the first great experience I had with a professor and I enjoyed, was Dr. McCormick. And so he was wonderful experience. And so really helped me even beyond the classroom. At one point, I was thinking about going to one of his alma maters that he got his PhD in, and he brought in one of his colleagues that was working at the school to come talk to me and think about it. And a lot of the classroom engagement was amazing as well. I would even say now some of the supervisors that I've had to work alongside, when I first came to work at U of L as a full-time staff member, I was under Leandra Gully for a while, and she was amazing. I always joke and say showing us how to dot our I's and cross our T's. More recently, I would say Lee Gill has been an amazing for me. Supervisor has been an amazing encourager to help me look at things from a 30,000-foot view, as he always would say. Been amazing. So I've had a really amazing time here at the university.
But it was Miss Cheatham that invited you to a certain holiday party.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Well, being a student worker, every year there was a Christmas, they would call it at the time Christmas holiday party, hosted by the Department of Communication. So it was an amazing time every year.
Yeah. Did you have a +1 for a holiday party?
I did. I did have a +1. Yeah, I have a +1. And that +1 is still with me 7 years later, after that first time. So my now wife, Mila, she was my +1 to the holiday party.
Went from +1 to a +some.
To a +some.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's crazy. It's crazy. Time really does fly.
It does. Yeah. You're having fun.
That's right. That's
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Can you tell us about any struggles you may have had endured during your undergrad journey? Maybe navigating the political scene during the time around graduation, going from one administration to another, or that type of climate, interaction with professors, or maybe just personal things getting through those 4 years.
I would say probably imposter syndrome, maybe even self-doubt. Because it is the unknown. For me personally, I know at the time I feared the unknown, because the unknown can look like a daunting experience because you can't control it. And so through that, not realizing like you can do this, you're able to do this, you're going to do this, it's always going to work out, it was always going to be fine. A lady named Phyllis Clark, when I got here, we had at the time it was the Cultural Center, and the Cultural Center had the early arrival program, and she said, she left us with something that always stuck with me, even that I use today just in life. She says, it's always going to be something. You can never remove yourself from the something, but just know that you're always going to get through that something. And so that has really carried me a long way. So shout out to Phyllis Clark, who actually left when we actually got here. But nevertheless, I think she was the director of the Cultural Center at the time. But it's always been something, but a lot of self-doubt because of the something. But then also realizing that for me, a test proves how ready you are for the next phase. A test proves how ready you are for the next season of change or transition in your life, whether it's going from being a freshman to a sophomore, junior to a senior, or graduating and going into the career in your workforce. There's always a test to prove that you know what you sometimes don't think that you know.
Now you have some little people in your life.
I do.
And about 20 years or so from now, they'll be of college age, around about that area. Somebody may ask them, who is their father? Dr. Mahone. What is it that you're hoping that they would say to those questions?
I would hope, on the surface, I would hope to say, like, I'm their best friend. I'm the one that they tell everything to, the one that they can depend on. I'm their safe space, essentially. Hopefully when somebody's asking about Dr. Mahone, they're like pointing, like, oh yeah, that's your dad right there. But nevertheless, at the base, at the core, that's my safe space. That's the one I talk to. That's the one that shows me how to do this, taught me this, the one that makes me laugh. My safe space.
And if you could go back to your 20-ish, 21-year-old self from this moment, what would you tell an aspiring Dr. Mahone at that time?
I would say relax and enjoy it. Relax and enjoy it. I think my 20-year-old self was, which is, I would say on one hand, it's a good thing, in the hustle. always looking at like, I gotta get it, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. But sometimes we don't embrace the moment. We don't embrace, the certain freedoms that we may have, the luxuries that we may have. And luxury to one person may look different from another person.
Yeah.
So the luxury that you have within the scope of what you have, relax, embrace it, and enjoy it.
Yeah. In your dissertation, you use this term, emotional incarceration, related to grief. Well, we know that grief can come in ways. It can, a song can remind somebody of that time, that incident, that trauma, a movie, a smell even. Talk to us how someone can get out of that emotional incarceration.
And I took that from, I'm always citing my sources, Jason Wilson, phenomenal guy, talked about emotional incarceration. And so what that is now allowing your emotions to flow. You're holding your emotions in and you're bottling it up. And so to get through grief, you have to let emotions come. Emotions are a wonderful thing. Emotions were given to us, I believe, for a reason.
Yeah.
And so we should be able to use those emotions and not harbor those emotions. And a lot of times, that depending on how you grew up, where you grew up, you're not allowed to express yourself or show emotion because it's usually looked at, depending on where you're at, as a sign of weakness when it's actually a sign of strength.
And last thing before we get out of here, brother doctor, who is one person that you want to see on this platform in this hot seat that we can talk to on the Bay Area? Within the U of L family.
Within the U of L family. Oh, that's a good question. Can I do something different and say two names?
Yeah.
I would say Kanika Cheatham.
Okay.
Would be one.
Yeah.
Another one would be Katie Carterelli.
Katie Carterelli. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm with that. Straight out of Texas.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
I'm going to bring my boots in my hat. If you know, you know.
Hit me 2 times.
Boots on the ground.
You know. Okay. Boots on. Well, thank you for your time, Doctor. I appreciate the work that you've been doing for a long time at SOS across the board with staff, student coaching even, supporting things that we've had going on in the Center for Bay, formerly known as the Cultural Center, and all the programs we used to have. You've been a pillar. I just want to give you your flowers.
Thank you.
And tell you that
Thank you.
Many of the students have been blessed to be in your presence and under your voice. And I'm just sit back and don't be amazed at what you do going forward, man.
Appreciate that, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Right.
Yeah. It's Brandon Bailey, joined by Dr. Mahone on this episode of the Bay Area. Share this with your internet family across the World Wide Web, and tune in next time. Thank you so much.